Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a list of houseplants that I feel are a good fit for college dorm rooms and apartments. I know that the virus is kind of obstructing everyone from moving into their dorm rooms and out of their parents' house. However, I know a lot of people are still moving out, so I figured I would still make this video. Plus, it's a good video for people who just live in apartments in general. Plants make me happy, they liven up the space, and they give me something to care for. I think houseplants are great for people who are just moving out and need some responsibility, company, and a general mood booster. So let's get into my list. I feel like a lot of these lists are all very similar, but I'm trying to make them a little interesting. So number one on my list is Pothos and philodendron. The reason I put these two together is because they have very similar care and similar appearance. These are great because they can tolerate lower light. They do like to have moderate to bright sunlight, but if you can't give them that, they're not gonna die. The only thing is they can start getting kind of leggy and not as full if they're not in sufficient light. But again, they won't die, they just won't look as full. And when watering these, you're gonna want to let them get dry between waterings, so they're not sitting in their water and festering up all types of weird stuff with water and dirt and bugs and dirt and dust. So you want to let them get dry between waterings so they're not just sitting in a ton of water. And the good thing about these is that there's a ton of different varieties. So this is a Mandula Pothos. This is a Pearls and Jade Pothos, I believe. This is a Brazil Philodendron. It needs watered. It's little. Yeah. The reason I think Pothos and Philodendron are so nice is because there's so many different varieties. So you have the same genus of plants, but you'll have a different look to each one of them because there's so many different varieties. So it looks like you have a ton of different plants, but they're really the same and they have the same care. And Pothos and philodendron are also vining plants, so you can put them in like a hanging basket or something and they'll get really long and full and be able to trail down if you have them hanging up, or trail over your desk. They're a really great plant for people who maybe don't have a super bright room or bright area. I know whenever I moved into college, my dorm room was like super dark and our window like barely let in any light at all. My apartment has pretty nice light, thankfully. Yeah, I know that's not the case for most people. So I'm trying to keep this list low light inclusive. So next on my list is a snake plant. I forgot to grab one. Exhibit. It's living in a vase right now. It's been sitting in water for a long time and it's grown quite a bit since then. Kind of not really water propagated because it was a full plant before, but I didn't have room for it, so I put it in a vase with water and it's been doing pretty well actually. Snake plants, they also like to get dry between waterings because Sansevieria, snake plants, are technically in the succulent family. So they do like a well-draining soil. Most plants like a well-draining soil, but it's important for these guys. They can really tolerate low light. This one barely gets any light and it's thriving. So same instance here. They will do better in brighter light, but again, if you can't provide that for them, they will do okay in lower light. There are also many different varieties of Sansevieria. So again, like the Pothos and philodendron, you'll have the same genus or species of plant, but you'll have a bunch of different types, which is cool because Sansevieria are pretty sick. I'll show you another Sansevieria I have. It's not a snake plant, it's a cylindrica Sansevieria. One sec. This one, my friend got this one for me. It chills right up in the sun, right up in my window in the sun, and the little baby over here that it popped off recently. It's not braided, so it doesn't look like this. This one was braided, like manually put like this. But yeah, Sansevieria are really cool genus and species. So I definitely recommend, especially if you like, I guess, non-traditional look of just every other houseplant, I guess, because like Sansevieria are really common, but they have a really unique and cool look to them. Also, if you're looking for a really huge snake plant, I really recommend going to Home Depot or Lowe's and looking there, because my boyfriend got me a snake plant that was freaking massive for $15, okay? And I've seen people sell them online for like $100 that big, so yeah, don't buy those. Okay, next on my list is a ZZ plant. I didn't really like ZZs for a while because I didn't like the general look of them, but they're really easy to care for. One of the ones that people recommend the most for people starting with houseplants. Again, like the others, you're gonna want to let them get dry before watering them again, especially if you're like me and you have it in a pot that doesn't have a drain hole, which I don't recommend, by the way. But yeah, you're gonna want to let them get completely dry between watering and give them a good soak whenever they get completely dry. And you'll be able to tell because the leaves are a little bit waxy and they'll be really like flexible and bendy whenever you need to water them. I just watered this one yesterday actually, so it's perked up from its shrivelly help me appearance. But this is a Raven ZZ. Honestly, if the Raven ZZ didn't exist, I don't think I would have a ZZ, just because I don't really like the way they look, but I love this one because it's a black houseplant and I think that's pretty freaking awesome. I found this black ZZ on Etsy for 20 bucks and it's treating me well. I'm treating it well. Same thing with lighting. It can tolerate low light, but if you can put it in brighter light, it likes that. The biggest thing is tolerating lower light. The color and the fullness of the plant might be affected if it's in like not sufficient light, but it's not gonna die is the biggest thing. So if I took this and put it in super dark light, or like didn't give it the light, it'd probably revert back to green. I have an example of a Pothos. It's reverted all the way to like solid green, to the point where it doesn't look like a golden Pothos, it looks like a Cebu Pothos, which I don't have, and that's not what it is, but it reverted because I never gave it that much sunlight. Maybe I'll insert a picture of that, or maybe I can like make a video talking about that. I think that'd be kind of interesting. But I will leave a link in the description, an in-depth care sheet for each of these plants, because I'm explaining it, but I might miss a couple parts. So I'm gonna put it down there in case you're looking to get some of these plants, or in case you just want to know a little bit more about them. And number 4, my next houseplant is the Aloe Vera. I actually just did a full video about aloe vera, my last video. So I actually put this guy out in the sunlight on my deck the other day, and it got a little seared. See the color? You might not be able to tell, but there's like a little bit of discoloration now. So I've kind of learned that my aloe vera is really acclimated to the indoor life, so I will not be putting it outside anymore. Aloe likes to have bright light. They need sun, and if you can't provide good sunlight for these guys, I recommend getting a grow light, which is the same for any of these plants. Honestly, I recommend a grow light if you want to have houseplants in your dorm or apartment somewhere where there's not sufficient light. I'm not saying you have to have one, but I do recommend it, and I think they're really helpful. They've really helped me with growing plants and making sure they have the right amount of sunlight. So I can link my video from my last upload in the description in case you want to watch that, but again, I will leave a care sheet in the description for it. But I recommend these guys because they're a really good starter plant. They're good to have around the house because of their medicinal properties. They have similar watering to all the other plants. You need to water them well, let them dry completely before watering them again. And aloe are just attractive, and also there are a ton of different varieties of aloe. There's like, I think in my last video I said like 500 plus. Of course, some of those are in different regions of the world, but still cool. I know you can get your hands on quite a few different types at local greenhouses and nurseries. And the last plant that I recommend, plant number 5, is the peace lily. Mine was like droopy as heck, just got watered. It's in the process of lifting back up. Now this one's a little bit different because it likes to be consistently wet. It doesn't like to be like drenched or anything, but it does like to have some moisture. Sorry about the flowers, dead. But I might consider doing a plant care guide on the peace lily because it'd be helpful for me. It'll be helpful for you because I love these guys, but they kind of hate me. But we're trying to work out a relationship here. So with sunlight, these guys are really awesome because they don't like sunlight very much. If you put these guys in too much sunlight, they will burn and get kind of like obviously dying, you know? These guys thrive in low light. So I really recommend these guys, but I do recommend that you make sure you're watering them consistently. But obviously don't overflow them to the point where they're just like constantly sitting in wetness, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of hard to say without sounding contradictory. Like make sure they're watered, but make sure they're not like soaked 24/7. Again, I will link a care sheet for the peace lily in the description. Like I said before, all of these plants do have many varieties for each of their genus. Peace lily, I only know of 3, but I'm sure there are more. This one's a domino peace lily. I do have a normal peace lily, but that was my first peace lily and it's not doing very well, so yikes. These are all super great plants to have in your dorm room and in your apartment because they're low maintenance, they can tolerate some lower light, except for the aloe. The aloe likes to have light, but a grow light if you don't have sufficient light. There are some more that I can think of that I think are pretty good starter plants as well. Personally, I think hoya are really easy, but they might be arguable. I think succulents are a good starter plant. Snake plant, sansevieria, they are very much like succulents. They're technically a type of succulent. If you can take care of a snake plant, you can probably take care of a succulent. The difference is they need more sun. African violets are really nice. I give mine bright and direct sunlight. They're blooming right now. They're doing very well. I don't have to take care of them very much. They're pretty easy. Also, tradescantia is a really easy plant. Yeah. This is a more rare variety, but tradescantia are a very good beginner plant as well. I really hope this helps someone. I kind of tried to do my best because I wanted to share with you guys some different plants that I think are great for like dorms and apartments, but I wanted to not go on a full rant or like full huge like spiel about how to take care of them and everything, because if you guys want an individual guide on any of these plants, I will be more than happy to provide that. Just let me know. Also, I keep forgetting to say it, but thank you guys very much for 100 subscribers. I really appreciate that. If you're one of my subscribers and you aren't getting notifications for my video, or you're not seeing when I upload, I usually upload every Thursday. I might start uploading more. I've been thinking about expanding a little bit and doing Thursdays for houseplant type material and then doing another day for like just random stuff. But I'm thinking about it, so I'm still figuring that out, so don't take my word for it right now. But that sounds nice. I'd appreciate it if you let me know. If you're one of my subscribers, again, who doesn't get the notifications or doesn't see when I upload, you can turn on the notification bell right next to the subscribe button. And if you're not subscribed, why? Just curious. So anyways, if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know anything. Comments really help my channel. They really help push my content, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys left a comment and liked my video. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.